Hello, and this is the Warp Forge with a 1750 battle report. The mission is Spoils of War, the deployment is Dawn of War, and this is going to be the Night Lord's first battle report. There will be unpainted minis and there will be partially painted minis, and there'll be painted minis like this one, so have at it. Basically, this list is going to be very experimental because I haven't managed to achieve the full checklist yet, so I'm just playing around with units and stuff, experimenting. What do I find in my list? I've got a lot of firepower. I'm just hoping it'll take out my opponent. My opponent is Eldar, and hopefully stuff will happen. And this will be the also Sakaran's first battle report, so I'm revving for that to go. I can't wait, and I hope it does what it says on the paper and ignore those jinx saves and hopefully curb some wave serpents, just so that as long as it just kills at least one wave serpent, I think I'll be happy. So that'll be fine. And I also have a Contemptor. I'm a bit iffy. I'm bringing it because it's painted, and I'm bringing it because I love Contemptors and I love my Contemptors so much. So, one of the weaknesses I find is I'm a little tight on the troops. I feel like I should have more, but hopefully I'll have enough troops just to get objectives and stuff. So without further ado, we will go on to the actual game.
Hello, and it's the Warp Forge with a 1750 battle report. The mission is Spoils of War, and the deployment is Dawn of War. This is my 1750 chaos list. The lists will be in the description. Here are the Raptors deployed on the flank. Sakaran, or Sikaran, can't really pronounce it, from the Forges of the Dark Mechanicum. Las Cannon Havocs, all ready and waiting, and Contemptor and the Chaos Marines ready to take up objectives. My opponent is Eldar Wraith. So this is going to be a tough challenge. They're very, very hard to get because Eldar Wraithbone is a very hard material to pierce. I know. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I'm really looking forward to see how this Sakaran goes. My opponent has the first turn. I have tried to seize the initiative and I have failed. My opponent's objectives are
Hungry for glory. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you issue a challenge. Score 3. If you issue 3 or more challenges, you score D3 victory points. Big Game Hunter. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least one enemy vehicle or monstrous creature was destroyed during your turn. If you kill a super heavy vehicle or a gargantuan creature, you score D3 victory points. Hold the line. Score 1 victory point if at least 3 of your scoring units and none of your opponent's scoring units are within 12 inches of your own table edge at the end of your turn.
Yes. So those are my opponent's objectives. Let's see if he gets any. He's most likely going to get one of them. So without further ado, we'll go over to the Eldar turn 1. Okay, so just a little reminder, before the actual battle report begins, we are going to do the powers and we've done psychic powers and we've done the warlord trait. The warlord trait on the Chaos Warlord is to grant fear, and his unit has fear but he doesn't, so he gets fear now. And the Sorcerer's Biomancy powers, no marks of chaos on him. All 3 Biomancy, smite for Primaris. He then has Iron Arm. He then gets the Life Leech, and then he has Hemorrhage as well. My opponent's Eldar Warlord trait we'll come back to. Wait. Okay, so my Eldar's Warlord trait and psychic powers.
This is my first warlock has Primaris You want to redo that?
Hang on, we'll pause it. Okay, so opponent's ready now to talk.
This first warlock has Conceal, Reveal and Protect Jink. He rolled on Ruins of Battle. There's another warlock inside of this Wave Serpent with a squad of wraith. He rolled on the Ruins of Battle the same. He got Conceal, Reveal, Protect Jink.
Okay, so
this Wave Serpent has the same setup as that Wave Serpent. As strange, he rolled the same warlock cyclical traits from.
okay,
The warlock has he rolled on telepathy. He got psychic shrink, shrouding, and invisibility. His warlock trait is he gains It Will Not Die and Fearless.
It will not die and fearless. Okay, so
This guy, who's also a warlock, rolled on Ruins of Battle again. He got the Primaris Conceal, Reveal and Enhanced Grail.
okay, anything more or? Okay, so that's my opponent's psychic powers and warlord trait. So now we move on to the Eldar turn 1.
Okay, Eldar turn 1. I moved the Wraith and the Warlock up, ran them inside that building. I moved in to stand on objective 2 just in case it's drawn in the Chaos's next turn. I moved the Wave Serpent over, shot, blew up the Rhino, but I shut off my shield, so no 2+, turned into a glance. Moved the Walkers up, they also shot. I moved this Wave Serpent up, shot into the Raptors, killed 3, no 2, 1, killed 1.
Killed one raptor, yes.
Got there in the end. And I cast Conceal on this Wave Serpent, giving it a 2+ to whatever it gets for cover. And these guys just really stood there. Okay, I got First Blood because I killed the Rhino. I also got Hold the Line and Big Game.
Okay, so turn 1 of the Night Lords. Well, these guys just moved up 12 inches and just ran an inch, nothing really happened. The Sikaran fired its twin-linked accelerator autocannon right into the Wave Serpent, ignored its jink, got a glance and a pen. The shield went up and turned the pen into a glance on a 2-up. And got a 3-up cup save because Shrouding plus a 5-up ramshackle building is basically a 3-up cover save, and he passed 1 and failed 1. Because Eldar and shitty things like that. But still. Las Cannons really couldn't see anything, so they shot at them and killed 2. Because 2 wounded, 2 killed on the Eldar there because they could see through the windows. This did fire at that, got a glance on one of them, which was passed on a 5+. These guys just moved and ran right into this building here, right on objective 5. He's a wreck. So we will move on to the objectives. So, I scored secure objective 1. My opponent secured secure objective 4, so he gets a victory point for that.
Thank you.
And I discarded this one, which is psychological warfare, which means I get a victory point if I cause a pinning or morale test, which I did not. And due to the fact that most of his army is fearless, I thought, sod it, may as well discard it, wait until the next turn for a better card, hopefully. So, still all to play for. I did take a massive hit because of the amount of save me through, but we'll just see what happens in Eldar turn 2.
Okay, Eldar turn 2. It was pretty eventful. I moved these guys up out of the building. I moved the Guardians with the Spiritseers out, and they both, and with the Wave Serpent, the Guardians and the Wave Serpent open fired and shot and killed the Rhino, didn't blow it up though. The guys disembarked into that building and were holding objective 3. I moved the warwalkers up, battle focused, shot at them, and then charged them. I won the combat, but they stuck around. The flyer came on, shot and killed the contemptor. The wave serpent moved a bit further up. The wraith jumped out and blew up the Sicaran, I think it's called.
Yep.
And these guys just moved up a bit further. I got one objective secured, which was secure objective 4. And my other 2 cards gave the Chaos player 2 points for securing objective 5 and 3.
Yay.
Now on to Chaos turn 2.
Yep, Chaos turn 2. Okay, so it is Chaos turn 2, isn't it? Yes. Chaos turn 2. Chaos Space Marines here, just basically shuffled a bit. Plasma gun here, wide open to the Wraith Guard. Did nothing. Bolt gun also fired. Did nothing. Las cannons from the Devastators. Hit. Killed 1 Wraith. These had a massive slap at each hanky-panky slap at each other and did nothing in assault. These guys, basically Psychic Phase, I did Smite. Smite killed, no, Life Leech, sorry. Life Leech killed a Wraith guard. Then I assaulted, he killed a few. He was in challenge with the Warlock and killed the Warlock and gained a result of 54 on the table, which now gives him Shred. So if I cast Iron Arm on him with Shred, it's going to be absolutely lethal. It's a draw in combat since both units are fearless, because the Lord confers fearless to the Raptors and with God naturally fearless. That hasn't been touched. Now to see what the objectives are. So the objectives were basically secure objective 2, which my opponent has, so he gets that one. Assassinate, which I did claim because I killed a character. Now, this scores. Basically, I didn't kill 3 or more, so I only get an additional victory point, and I have secure objective 6. So that's 2 more victory points to Chaos Space Marines and 1 more victory point to the Eldar, filthy elves. So now it is Eldar turn 3.
Eldar turn 3. I moved everything up a bit and demolished that Chaos Marine squad in there. The Crimsonhunter moved up, shot, killed 2 of his Devastators. This combat, still nothing happened, but hopefully these guys are going to run in next turn and wipe the board. The main combat at the minute is this one. I charged a squad of Wraith and a Warlock in. The Warlock died and sort of won the Wraith.
He got on the Boom Shark Crusader. Beautiful if it was a different army.
I didn't do any wounds to the Psyker, but I did kill 2 of his Raptors and did a wound on his Lord. I also got objective 1 and no prisoners. Okay, now on to Chaos turn 3.
Okay, so Chaos turn 3. Chaos turn 3 happened, and lots of madness. I drew me cards, secure objective 4, 3 and 6. Because I have, this assault happened, 1 guy died, passed the morale check, nothing got harmed. I am within 3 inches of secure objective 3, so I gain that because I gain priority since I am troops in a combined arms detachment. This was madness. 1 las cannon basically fired up into this, actually hit snap firing, failed the jink. Unfortunately got a 3 in total for the chart, so you can only snap fire next turn. And back to the grand old combat. I didn't manage to succeed to get Iron Arm again or basically anything, so basically it was good old fashioned attacking and Lord did nothing. The raptor did nothing, but the sorcerer here killed the one wraith guard. So slowly but surely I'm picking them off because he is a fallen angel. He is like Nephilim. He is a fallen angel of death. I love him. He's brilliant. This combat I love. This combat is madness. Anyhow, so now onto the objectives. Objectives, I got 3 and 6, and because of stealing the loot, my opponent gained objective 4. So I gained 2 more victory points, and my opponent got secure objective 4. So now we are on to the Eldar turn 4. Sorry.
It looks grim for the Chaos. The Eldar have started to advance towards the Chaos table edge. As you can see, no more Devastators. Wraithblade ran over, ended that slow and painful conflict. And there's only 2 characters left. I have achieved secure objective 4, which is because of the dire avengers who have won me 3 points and all have done sit there the entire game, which isn't bad. And I hope to get those 2, if not the next turn, my turn 5. Now to Chaos.
So Chaos turn 5. Well, Chaos turn 4. Well, he's the only thing left. The Chaos Lord, Lord Caraxus of the Night Lords, is the only guy left standing across these filthy elves. My objectives: Kingslayer, unable to take it. Witch Hunter, unable to take it. Secure objective 1, unable to take it. Apart from my opponent, who can.
Yeah, but look on the bright side, right?
I attacked
the war killed
the unpainted guys and I attacked the unpainted guys and killed nothing. He attacked me back and nothing happened. It is now Eldar turn 4.
Put the camera in.
Put the camera on the film.
We all know who wins this game. The warp and corn. Blood god.
Dominatus.
It's the end of the game. Everything moved. I'm on Eldar on every objective. I have Line Breaker because of the Guardians. The Wraith were in combat. I moved the Wraith Blade to be inside this building. They needed 10 to get into combat. I rolled 11. And they killed the last guy, which was the Night Lord, Warlord.
Yep, the Chaos Lord, Caraxus.
It was a fun game. I don't think my opponent's too happy.
Well, Codex Phil, sponsor.
Crash it all!
I don't think he's too happy.
Okay, so before we leave, the objectives or the victory points was 15 to 7. Yep, that was 15 victory points to the elves, the filthy elves, and 7 to the Night Lords.
If I didn't know better, he was just slightly cheesed off.
Oh, here now.
Next week, the Tyranids versus Chaos Space Marines.
Or Nurgle, and 5 Demon Princes, because that's what I'm going to need. So, GG.
Okay, so, afterthoughts. Well, things I took away with. Jink means bottle if you have shrouded. That was the main thing I took away with. I mean, okay, I was a bit irked, I will admit, I was a bit irked and a bit disheartened when I scored a glance and a pen, and my pen went straight down to a glance due to the shield, and then rolling for the cover save of 3 up because the ramshackle build was a 5 up cover, and I went down to 3 up, and he passed 1 but failed 1, so I only scored a glance and hit. I mean, if that pen got through, all I needed was an immobilised result. If I got it immobilised, then it means a little bit more, well, relaxation from units. I wouldn't have felt the pressure a bit more of being rushed like that. So, I suppose there was that. Apologies. So, That was that. Man of the match for me was the Lord and the Sorcerer. Just the Night Lords of the match. Mainly because the Sorcerer the Lord went in, attacked one of the Wraith Guard units and hacked and sliced and killed two of the... What was it? He killed two of the Wraith Guard units, sorry. And to me, just having a power sword and cracking the power sword into the Wraith bone armour, that's what the game is about for me. Just hacking and slicing and feeling the rewards of killing something that was really hard to kill. And I'll say the Sorcerer because the Sorcerer was no nonsense. He went, challenged the witches, aka the warlocks, and just hacked, took a wound, got a little bit pissed off, and just killed, sliced and stabbed and hacked and flayed and tortured because he's a Night Lord. Just went in and just no nonsense, just took the head, granted it to the Dark Gods to gain unimaginable power, and got that power in the form of Shred and Crusader, sorry. And just having that was great. Iron Arm was great, and just the final moments where he got so powerful that he rolled a perils, failed the perils by 6, and his head expanded and exploded in a mist of crimson. Absolutely, just one of the key highlights for me of the match was that, just the Sorcerer getting that powerful, too powerful. So yeah, that was that. In the forms of my list, I feel like the Contemptor was a bit too ham-fisted, I suppose. I could have replaced it with more troops, and the only problems I see was looking at the match now. I could have added another Chaos Space Marine squad, but I feel that wouldn't have really helped much. And it wouldn't have helped much because I feel that the unit would have just gotten sliced and diced and just shot to high heck anyway from the, as I saw with the Rhinos. So I just don't feel like an extra squad would have been worth it. And I could have went really cheap and got for loads of cultists or loads of cultists with auto guns. But again, the problem is I'll hide them and I'll hug that cover. They won't be doing much since on the board there was a very hard line of sight. There weren't that many arcs of fire, which I'll go on to the Havocs in later. The arcs of fire weren't that much, so I wouldn't have got many shots out. And either way, if I tried firing at Wraith units, I would have just basically been run 6s. And even though I would have had weight of fire, that weight of fire would have shrunk to 3 to 5 dice at the max, somewhere along those lines. And either way, my opponent would have just been saving them like no tomorrow. So it's just hard trying to think what I could have used for troops. I think I could have used Thousand Suns, but I don't have the models anymore, so it is going to be one of those days, I suppose. I'm thinking, yeah, a squad of 5,000 Suns in a Rhino, fly them up, get 4 up invuln save, but AP3 bolters. I know people say they're overpriced, but against a force like that, I feel 1,000 Suns, just one small squad with 1 power of Tzeench, could have done something. That's just my opinion. The Lord out, I feel I could change now. As I say, the lists are in the description section, and I did choose Mark of Tzeench with the Dark Sigil of Corruption, and that would have given him a 3-up cover save. And I like the 3-up cover save because it means he's got a shot at tanking some hits and be able to hack and slice at the same time. The problem is, as the battle report showed, was that doesn't mean jack all if you're fighting against a unit of Wraith Blades and Weight of Fire does drown out that invuln save. So I'm thinking about is changing that Mark of Tzeench to a Mark of Khorne with Axe of Blind Fury. I didn't want to take Axe of Blind Fury because it minus your weapon skill to a 4-up, but when I'm looking at it now, if I'm saying that a 4-up invuln save from keeping Dark Sigil of Corruption is okay, then I suppose hitting Wraith units on a 4-up should be okay as well, considering that you'll have Rage, which gives them +2 attacks, plus Demon Weapon, which is D6 attacks, all on top of your natural attacks of 3, I think. So you're going to get a load of attacks and you're going to hack a lot. So, yeah, I think that should have been changed. Biomancy on the Sorcerer is good. I'm keeping that. I love the unit. I love the Raptor unit. Just going in, it's very fluffy. You go in, you hack and you slice. You cause fear upon thy enemy. So yeah, I do enjoy that, and I want to use that unit more. The Sakaran, I'm just going to have to get used to him because I want to use it more games. I've only used it twice. The first game it did absolutely brilliant because it fought, well, it shot a Tervagon. I managed to kill it outright turn 1. So I am going to use it a bit more. It's just getting to grips with the unit because it's, like I say, it's just getting to know what makes it tick and what makes it happy and what it likes to fire at and what it doesn't like to fire at and all those sort of things. I mean, yes, on paper is a different story, you can see from the paper, but actually using it in game, to me, is a whole different story. So there's that, and what can I say, my opponent's list? Well, I enjoy fighting with a lot more than just dire Avengers or Guardians, and that's mainly because I don't like the Bladestone rule, but that's just my opinion. And that's another discussion for another time. I find the wraith units are hard to hit, but that's granted. They're a small elite force, but they can pull off so much, as we see in the battle report. So, personally, I did have the plasma to take it out, but like I say, I was heavily pinned down because I couldn't really move anywhere without being shot up by scatter laser fire or the strength 10 AP2 guns. So I think I feel like I need to have more bodies on the field, but I just feel like if I have more bodies on the field, it's just a bit, I still feel the resolution or like the final turn would have been the same outcome, in my opinion. The conclusion is the word I'm looking for. So yeah. Honestly, I mean, I know I could have taken Helldrakes, I do have 2, and I could have taken Obliterators. I don't like using those units regularly, is because I feel the 2 autopilot, even with, the unconventional weapons on the Helldrakes, such as the Hades autocannon, I still feel they're too much on the rails, so to say. It is just place the unit, does what it does, that's it. Personally, I don't get any more joy anymore from playing those units, and that's why I'm trying to use the unorthodox, such as the Devastators, etc. Because I feel like I get more reward for playing them. I do. I just feel like it's more rewarding to play something that's not usually heard of, and to be able to pull off a win, or just to have them on the board and just use them. I just feel it's more rewarding to use them than me Helldrakes. Now we go on to the Devastators. The Devastators, well, like I said, the arcs of fire were tight because I couldn't really gain line of sight to any of the wave serpents or any of the vehicles for the matter, especially with Battle Focus when they just go shoot and jump, and really Battle Focus is just another word of saying jetpack in the shooting phase. That's my opinion. So it was really hard to really get line of fire, so I was just ending up firing at the Guardian squad, and when I saw a wraith construct, I was firing straight there because once wraith constructs start dropping, my opponent feels it. The wraith player really feels those casualties once they start dropping. So yeah, like I say, I enjoy fighting wraith a lot more than other Eldar units because I like the undead necro wraith constructs as what they are. So I enjoy them and enjoy playing the list. What else can I say? Missions. If I'm honest, I don't like being negative on the channel, but if I'm honest, I'm starting to lose love with the Maelstrom of War missions. And that's mainly because the only game I've really played over and over again in Maelstrom is Spoils of War, because that's what I keep rolling for. It's just Spoils of War, after Spoils of War, after Spoils of War. And I'm not going to dispute it, and I know turnarounds can happen. I've seen it in the club that they do happen, but I do feel that the game with the cards is too much of wait for your opponent to get bad draw. As I feel with the actual game, I've played it over and over again, and it's just You flip the cards. If you get a bad draw, it doesn't matter how many turns you're into the game, be it turn 1 to turn 7. If you get a bad draw and your opponent gets a good draw, game, set, match. But wait, in Spoils of War, there's more. If you get a bad draw and your opponent gets a good draw, it can often turn your bad draw into your opponent's even better draw. With the use of Secure Objective X and Steal the Loot special rule, as I found out lots and lots of times in the Spoils of War mission, it's Secure Objective 4 or Secure Objective 3. My opponent has those, so he gets double the victory points, etc, etc. And personally for me, it's just a bit disheartening when that happens, but that's just my opinion. I respect that it is the nature of the beast, so to say. I respect that it is the rules and stuff. But, personal opinion, I am losing love for the Maelstrom War missions. I need to play others, I feel. Because all I'm ever playing is Spoils of War, and I need that to change. That's my opinion anyway. So, what's next? Well, hopefully, with changes to the list, probably more troops or something, maybe even a small elite squad, like Plague Marines or Thousand Suns, etc, etc. Maybe I'll do that, and hopefully something good might come out of that. I haven't finished the checklist off fully, but I have ordered a model, which I'm going to convert into a Maul of Fiends, because I've sold the other Maul of Fiends off, because the model was a bit just... I'm not enjoying the model. So I'm going to convert my own as some Dark Mechanicum constructs, and hopefully I should have 2 Maul of Fiends soon. I'm also going to try and obtain 2 more missile launchers, because I am currently building another squad of Havocs with missile launchers. And missile launchers are good, from what I've seen, because you get your anti-tank of Strength 8 AP3 and also anti-elite, because, like I say, if I had like 4 missiles, Strength 8 AP3 against those wraiths, that would have really hurt my opponent, in my opinion. You can have the anti-infantry, so if, like I say, the Guardians were out in the open, if I had them out in the open and I had those missile launchers, the small blast would have done loads of damage to them. And the flak missiles, because I want to do anti-flyer and Skyfire missiles at Strength 7, when the majority of flyers, there are exceptions with arm value 12, but the majority of flyers are usually 10 or 11 all round, and Strength 7 is actually quite nice against 10 or 11. So I'm going to try and get a few Havoc squads with missile launchers, probably 2, just to pin down the opposing force. But that's my opinion anyway. That's what I'm hoping for, and as well as 2 Maul of Fiends, because throw them up, force your opponent to deal with them. If they don't, then they go and have fun. If he does manage to take them down, then the other units get a bit of breathing space ready for the next turn worth of shooting. That's what I'm hoping for next for the Night Lords. And basically, we shall return. If Dominatus Nox. I enjoyed the game. I hope my opponent enjoyed this battle. This is the Warp Forge, signing off, and remember, keep on forging.